Good evening and namaste, brothers and sisters. From right here, Stanford campus, and from all around the Bay Area, you are most welcome. We were joking earlier today, the students and I, that we have 2 Diwalis this year. Of course, Diwali was last weekend, last Sunday, and Stanford gets 2. So we're really pleased to be able to celebrate this together. The Office for Religious Life is passionate about leading and serving the needs of all of our communities on campus. Whether you are religious or otherwise, we are here to serve your needs in this fast-paced and changing world. For us, the team here at the front, is both an honor and a privilege. Today, more than ever, our office is present at the heart of campus. And this is because students encourage us, allow us, welcome us to build a relationship of trust with each other. Celebrating Diwali, for example, here at MEM2, together, we demonstrate how we can put light and joy into the universe on really important religious occasions, like, of course, Diwali, but also Navratri, Vaisakhi, all sorts of other holidays, Christmas, Ramadan, Rosh Hashanah, Ridvan, but also in the everyday. Those festivals are wonderful in bringing us together and reminding us what our values are as individuals and as a collective community, that then are fulfilled in the everyday. Everyday situations, like when students are comfortable enough with our work that they drop by our office or just check in to say hello. Taking even a moment out of our schedules to build these relationships is very powerful, both as a model for others to learn from and the inner strength and connection it brings to me, to other staff, when working with students. Religious fidelity is also much more than celebrating or taking a position on an issue. It's about engaging in the tension and navigating human realities. As religious hate crime rises, year on year, both here in the US and in other parts of the world, unfortunately, it's up to us to realize, us in this church, in this beautiful place, to realize that we have great strength within us, so much so that we can override anything. It's important to stand up for the rights of others, to think beyond our own issues. And that's why it was heartening to hear Ankita and Ashwin particularly earlier this evening. There may be a long way to go, but there are signs of hope that inspire us all. And some of these examples include Christian and Sikh groups lobbying for the rights and protection of refugees around the world, especially in Kashmir right now. Given the recent tensions, you may be surprised to learn of ways in which spirituality unites communities in South Asia. The Karaga Yutra is a Hindu-Muslim festival in Bangalore, where Hindus and Muslims from across the country walk to a darbar to worship, to honor, and to pay their respects. Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Jains, Buddhists, and the list goes on in terms of the communities of South Asia. And we all know what happens in one part of the world affects another part of the world. And so for me, it's important to remember and to focus on the things that bring those communities together and how they continue to thrive today, despite some of the things that might be happening around them. But what about positive, plural engagement that is a little closer to home? Well, you heard earlier this evening when Dean Steinwert spoke about our different spaces. This glorious church is one of 3 spaces that we are lucky and privileged enough to be able to host and run events in. One of those other spaces is the third floor of the Old Union. For those of you who know the Circle, I think you're some of the lucky ones on this campus, because a lot of people say it's one of the best kept secrets. It's a glorious space where interfaith is encouraged, where individual and collective worship is nurtured, and where we, as Office for Religious Life staff, we step forward to try and help students find their own path, to find their own light on their terms. And that's really important to us. Ashwin Reddy also mentioned that often we also have to come together because evil things happen in the world. So we organize vigils, and we organize remembrances, and we organize anniversaries for some of the most horrific things that happen in this world. It's not pleasant, but it's important. Diversity of every kind is part of God's design for creation. I won't quote you scripture after scripture after scripture from all the traditions that speak about diversity in a very positive way. To be true to our faith, belief, values, means to love and connect with all of creation. How we do that is up to us, but connect we must. The examples that I've shared tonight are inspired by a number of issues: human rights, equality and justice for all, without exception. The models of working together prove how adaptable and courageous we can be when responding to fast-paced challenges. And we can only remain relevant if we are engaged with our current modern-day context. That's where real change has inspired people around the world and has had direct impact on real-life issues and our way of living right here at Stanford and beyond. Finally, I want to say that the support of other faiths is an incredibly rich part of our heritage in which we can all rejoice, especially during special celebrations like tonight for Diwali, or on November the 14th, when right here on this very chancel, in this very church, we celebrate something called Mawlid, which is remembering the life of Prophet Muhammad, a figure key in Islam and for Muslims. And all of you are welcome all over again in 2 weeks right here. We become powerful agents of change when we realize that our unity lies in our diversity. Of course, we've heard this so many times, but it's when we stand up for each other that it really makes an impact. Finally, I want to say congratulations to our student communities. You know who you all are, for curating this Diwali celebration right here every year for the past 3 years. This year, I had the honor to lead this festival on behalf of the Office for Religious Life, and in the previous 2 years, Rabbi Patricia Carlin Newman, my colleague, has actually led the students with great excitement and encouragement, and we're so proud and so pleased that Diwali continues to thrive right here in this church. All of you students who imagined what Diwali could be like at Stanford, and then you come tonight and you think, wow, that's a little bit better than I would have even thought. Well, that's thanks to your peers, other students who work incredibly hard, give up their valuable time to try and make this a special celebration. And we all, as a Stanford community, are indebted to you. You are so special to us at the Office for Religious Life particularly. For me and for my colleagues, you make the world a better place. Every single one of you, whether performer, whether volunteer, whether decoration team, whether people who did the rangoli outside, whoever fried those samosa back in the green room, every single inch, as Ankita was saying, every single tiny piece of Diwali that you helped us to create, we are grateful for. You make the world a better place. And we look forward to working closer with you in the coming years. As it's important to say on a day like this, let there be a victory, of course, of light over darkness, good over evil, and of course, right back to the beginning, as Dean Stein was saying, and Ankita said, knowledge over ignorance. Happy Diwali.